Well, hello. Good afternoon. I have time flies. Well, today I'm going to share a real treasure with you. It's about the value of having a positive attitude and faith in yourself and faith in your God. Those are the most valuable things you can ever hold on to and have and maintain in your life. We all have it, be it a positive attitude or a negative attitude. We all have it within ourselves. Now, I'm about to share some videos with you with three people, and you will see the difference in attitudes and how far along they're coming in their lives. Now, we've all had dark times in our lives, and it all mattered how we got through it. Like I've shared with you before, if you go back to my first few videos, I shared my story. I've been in some dark places, some hopeless situations, and I came out on the other side shining and doing better than I've ever done in my life, financially, physically, mentally, all of it. And I want to share with you these various videos. Won't take much time. I'm just going to show you portions of it, and you can go watch the videos or subscribe to these folks if you like. But I want you to see the difference in attitude. That's the most important thing here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's see here. We're going to start with this first person. This is Trent B. Clever. This gentleman's 44 years of age. He is 9 years younger than I am, but he is homeless, and he has a YouTube channel about his homelessness and all the stuff he's going through and everything. But I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this, and then we're gonna move on.
That 405 in Oklahoma City, now in residing in T-Town, which is also known as Tulsa, Oklahoma. Today I'll be talking about my situation, becoming homeless, and what led up to that. And so let's get into it. Well, I was working as a paraprofessional teacher, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. And unfortunately, the school I was working at ended up letting me go due to a lack of funding in that department. So once that occurred, I still had two or three more checks coming, I think, over the summer. And what happened was, of course, my lease agreement went up, had to be renewed the following summer, so my lease went up. And on top of that, I was due to have surgery because I've been having some health issues involving my hip, which is called necrosis, avascular necrosis, along with other health issues, which is like sickle cell anemia. It's funny I can smile at that, but at the time it was really wasn't funny. Anyway, moving further along. So, what ended up happening is I ended up not renewing the lease agreement because I couldn't afford to. I ended up losing my apartment the month before my birthday, my 44th birthday. And so I ended up with my last paycheck packing up all my things in the U-Haul truck, moving myself, and moving down to putting those things in storage. So I put those things in storage. My brother was supposed to help me, but we got into this disagreement, and so I didn't. At the time, I was already stressed out under pressure, so I didn't feel like really arguing, and it just got one thing led to another, and things got crazy. So I ended up moving myself, and ended up living out my car, and then I was in a shelter at Salvation Army for 2 months. Job searching, got me a caseworker, applied for Section 8, applied for public housing, HUD housing, etc., and was putting on a 2 year waiting list for a housing voucher. Well, during that course of time, also, like I said, I applied for different temp agencies in Oklahoma City, and I was working off and on assignments, but nothing that was consistent or permanent. So I had little money.
Yeah, you can go ahead to his channel and watch the rest, but it just goes on like that. They're just on and on and on and on. And like I said, if you go to his page, you'll see he's still homeless, still going on and on. But we're gonna move on to the next person who is. I am a subscriber to her channel. Her name is Dana Findwell, and this woman, she's in her 60s now. She was in her late 50s when she made this video, and you can see she looks great for her age. And I'm going to go ahead and start this, and I'm going to let her tell a brief. I'm going to give a brevity of it, and then the main message about this. Okay, and she has a vintage clothing business where she sells vintage clothing online. She's dancing and holding up the vintage clothes and stuff like that, and she's moving on. She's getting it done. Has a great attitude, but I want you to see this for yourself.
In less than a month. And
Let's see. Hold on, I didn't start that. There we go. All right.
I'm 59 years old and I'll be 60 in less than a month. And I realized that I need to start over. I've started over several times in my life. I've been married twice and divorced twice. I've moved more times than I can count. And all of these times required me to start over. I've wanted to change my career many, many times, and I was a graphic designer and art director for over 30 years. I went to art college and I really enjoyed my career. I really enjoyed what I did, but after a while, I think the stress and the fast pace and the competitiveness got to me, especially working in ad agencies. I worked at this company for I think about 4 years and I really loved it. It was a great job. I learned a lot. I really kind of thrived in the beginning. However, it was tons and tons of work. I worked long hours. I worked at home on the weekends coming up with concepts or design ideas. I would take my computer home at night and it just became exhausting. At this point, my mom's health started to deteriorate and she moved in with me, I think for about a year or so, until she got so bad that I couldn't take care of her anymore by myself. So we put her into a really nice assisted living place, and there she got a lot more care. So
So you see with Dana Fine, well, I don't know if you're starting to see the difference. How she's got a positive attitude. And like I said, this lady's been through it and she's still hunting. She's got her vintage clothing business. She was going through it and she was still helping her mom. And they all pitched in and put their mother in a nice, facility, senior facility to be cared for. And if you go watch her videos, you will see that she is still taking care of
What if
her,
you had a tool that could identify
taking care of her grandchild. She's doing it all. And she's everything, like you say. You saw how she said she's getting overloaded with work, but she's got something positive out of it. It was a great experience. All her positive attitude, she just keeps going. There's just a little bit I want to, a message that I want her to share with you guys. Hold on just a second.
momentum trades with clear entry and exit points?
changed my life in a really positive way. The reasons for starting over may not have been the most ideal reasons. They might have been of being a beginner at something. When we start over, we're beginning something new and fresh. And this is the time to learn and grow. And learning and growing is something that will always give us purpose and meaning in our lives.
Play that one more time if I can, so you can get that message what
Something
she
that will
just said.
always give us
No
and
matter what.
something.
Like I said, that's. Let me make sure I got this all right. There we go. Yeah. But that is the difference right there. Do you hear what she's saying? This woman is 60 years old, having to start again, and I want you to hear what she said again.
When we start over, we're beginning something new and fresh. And this is the time to learn and grow. And learning and growing is something that will always give us purpose and meaning in our lives.
Okay, do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? It doesn't get better. Doesn't that attitude put slush out in your heart to get you to get going? That's what it's about. The attitude. Never giving up. No matter what. Get the positive out of everything, out of all your situations, and you're gonna make it. And she's doing fine. She's doing fine. She's going through you look at her page, she's still helping her daughter and stuff. You see all her trials and tribulations, but it's always a positive attitude. This lady is never ever going to fall fully. She's gonna make it. She's gonna do fine. That attitude, with a positive attitude is an energy that cannot be destroyed, as well as the negative. It can go opposite. So I'm gonna go to the next person. Now, this person here, he was a famous NFL player, went broke, went to prison, so on and so forth. And he started over again. He had faith in himself, faith in his God, kept a positive attitude, and now he's rising. I think he's like a preacher or something like that. But
now,
Yes, sir.
and that disrupts our peace,
Hmm.
and it
let's see. There were some certain clips I wanted you to see out of this. Let's see. There we go.
communicate to people.
Don't do that. I'm telling you right now. I'm being very stern right now because I love y'all. This is all tough love. But go ahead, Irv.
But I think the number one thing is you can't quit.
You can't
You
quit.
can't give up. You have to maintain your faith
Yeah,
in who you are. Bet on yourself.
yeah.
God has given us all of us are very special, never to be repeated miracles of human personality.
Come on.
Very special, never to be repeated miracles of human personality. And God has endowed in each and every one of us and invested in each and every one of us a gift or talent that we can use to make a living for ourselves and those around us.
Right.
But what you cannot do, first of all, you can't end up trying to be like somebody else.
That's right.
You got to be you. We're valuable. We're valuable originals. Most of us, we're all of us valuable originals when we're born, but a lot of us end up cheap copies.
Yeah.
We die cheap copies. Why? Because we're always trying to be like somebody else.
Like somebody
Be
else.
you. Bet on you. But you cannot ever give up. I look at it like this. Jesus told Peter, Simon, Simon, Satan desires to have you, to sift you as wheat. But I pray for you that your faith will fail not. Watch this. Simon, Simon, Satan desires to have you, to sift you as wheat. He got Judas already. Looks like he's getting ready to get you. He's trying to sift you as wheat, separate you from God, separate you from your support system, separate you, isolate you like wheat gets separated.
But you see the message there, and like I said, his story goes on. This is Irving Fry. He was broke. He had to go to prison. His wife divorced him. He lost everything, got wiped out, had nothing, not a dime, nothing when he got out of prison, and he was in debt. And he made it. He came back out. Irving Fry, doing great, great attitude. He was 53, same age as me. Got fresh out of prison with nothing, not a dime or a nickel, and he's doing fantastic. You can go to Kenneth Allen Thomas's YouTube page to watch the entire interview. Like I said, that was the most important part, that was one of the better parts that I wanted to share with you, was this part here. One
Right
more
now. I'm
time.
being very stern right now because I love y'all. This is all tough love. But go ahead, Irv.
But I think the number one thing is you can't quit.
You can't
You
quit.
can't give up. You have to maintain your faith
Yeah,
in who you are. Bet on yourself.
yeah.
Like I say, you can't say it any better. You can look up Irvin Fryer. He has the page, but he hasn't put any videos out. But you can watch Kenneth Allen Thomas. Kenneth Allen Thomas has a lot of motivational videos. But I wanted you to see this key ingredient here was this positive attitude. It doesn't get more any better than that. Now, last but not least, this is a lady, Adventures Over 50. You can go to her page and check her out. She was homeless. Um, she started over. She was in her late 50s. She's still doing good. She's still getting it in. And same thing, it's crazy. It's crazy how these folks keep that attitude. It's crazy how positive attitude can get you through anything in life. All
Your
right, let's
ego,
move
but
on.
you have to do what you
You
have
have
to
to do what you
do.
have to do. You have to put the ego to the side, everything to the side, and survive. It's
Survive.
about surviving.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
But now it's not just us. I mean, there's people with kids. Can you imagine if you
Oh.
had little children?
we saw someone the other day. I didn't see my girlfriend holding a sign.
No.
And like you said,
Let's
and
see
she
here.
looked well put together. Do you know what I mean? It's not all glamorous.
No. Because right now, when you guys see me later on, like maybe I'm saying I'm gonna have an apartment this month. I'm calling it into the universe.
Yep.
But I'm gonna look like a totally different person.
Yep. Well, but we said too that having this experience has really helped us understand.
Oh, for sure. It's like for me, I feel like my ego has really shrunken,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I have more compassion for people.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really changing me, and I want that.
Right.
I want that. It's changing me from the outside, from the inside out.
Last night she had like the
But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you
coverings
too.
around,
This lady,
so I knew she was
Adventures
sleeping in
Over
there.
50.
And I
And
started
you
talking
see
to her.
how
Her name
she's
is Cheryl.
smiling.
And
Woman 60 years
we just
old. Look
started
at
talking
her.
about
Looks
she's
fantastic.
living in her car. She moved here she drove here from Oregon. But
You can go to her page too, Adventures Over 50, and you can see her attitude, how she's just getting it in. She's also taking care of her elderly parent, supporting her elderly parent, and she's still getting it in. She lived in her van, but now she has an apartment or a house now, and she recently got a job, and she still got a YouTube channel going. And like I said, you see these people. This person's homeless. She was homeless, living in her van, and she's talking about how to getting the positives out of being homeless. That's what I mean. It doesn't get any better than that. And then we'll go back to
Here, a
this.
little money there, and I would use that to try to get bus passes or to move around the city so I can possibly secure other wings of housing and get on my feet. Anyway, after this 60 days, I only had 2 weeks left for the Salvation Army. So I ended up.
That's enough of that. But I just wanted to share that with you. The differences in attitudes, the differences in faith. That's what it is right here. If you have faith in yourself, you can get through anything. Uh, I've been talking about reduction in force and people losing their jobs, but the main thing is if you lose your job or anything, if you keep a positive attitude, you'll make it. You'll be fine. You can get through anything in life. Your mind and your attitude is gold. That's gold in your pocket. You can make it. Check out those other folks. Like I said, the one woman has a vintage clothing line and she sells clothes and she's got really cool videos where she's showing the clothes that she has for sale and so on and so forth. And the other woman, the blonde woman, she giving up makeup tips and advice and healthy food and stuff like that. And then you see the former NFL player, he has a lot of messages and stuff. You can go ahead and read the rest of that, watch the rest of that interview. It's really an awesome, awesome interview. And please click like and please subscribe to my channel. If you have comments or questions about that video, feel free to ask. I'm still learning as I'm going. But like I told you before, I'm a firm believer in if you want to do it, just go ahead and get started. Dive all the way in 100% and learn as you go. That's how you succeed in life. But that's it for now. I just wanted to share with you and let you see the differences in attitudes from the first person that I put on to the other three. You can compare it, you know. Um, Sometimes people make you think of Cousin Emma. If you're a fan of Sanford and Son, and you watch that Cousin Emma episode, and she's like, "Oh, I'll make you a big breakfast." Next day comes, and nothing's cooked, and she's laying down. Well, I got this going on, and I got that going on, this, that, and the other. And then you come back and you watch the woman saying, "I had to start over, but I went to this place and I worked, and they overloaded me, but it was a great experience. I learned this, that." And the other, and then the blind woman's like, yeah, you're living in the street, but you get to see this different stuff, and you learn stuff, and you see stuff that you never saw before. And then the NFL player, he goes on and talking about, you really learn when you lost everything. You learn about people and who's really there for you. I really had to have faith in myself, and then it hit me, and then I started all over again. Stuff like that. That's the stuff you need. That's the stuff that keeps you going. That positive attitude. Well, that's it for right now. I'll be definitely posting more videos, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.